So on this episode, Kimmy begins her journey, and we're all gonna take the ride with her. Are y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music.
Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate up for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video, and we here to discuss season 5, episode 10 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Listen, I'm in a new location. Well, it's not really a new location. I'm just not at home in the studio. So I'm going to make this video where I'm going to make it because I'm tired of having to film 12 videos on a Monday, right? So anyway, we're here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, and Kimmy starts her journey with breast cancer. We're going to get to that and talk about it, but I think that we are lucky to be able to be a part of that journey. I don't know if I would be strong enough to share that, but the fact that Kimmy is, I'm all here for it. So let's get into the episode. So the episode opens up. We're kind of picking up where we left off last week at this peace party. And basically, Stormy asked Destiny how she feel about Mel coming in there and feeling like she didn't speak. Well, no, she didn't do that. Actually, it was Mel's turn. I'm sorry. So it was Mel's turn to give her piece, and she brought up the fact that she came into Madani and spoke to Destiny, but Destiny didn't hear it. So she wanted more clarification on that. Well, we're picking up on that, and then basically she said, I spoke. I actually said your name. And Destiny's over there looking like... So Stormy says, well, okay, now that you know she said your name, does that make it better? No. She said, no, it doesn't. And it's just like, Destiny, you are like a child. You know what I mean? Like... I'm not even mad that you feel away because she came into your establishment and didn't acknowledge you properly. I'm not mad at that. There's nothing wrong with that. My issue with you is the childish tantrum you take because stuff ain't just going the way you want it to go instead of just addressing things like a woman. If you felt some type of way when that girl walked into your space, you should have said something. Hey, hello. And then she could have said, I spoke. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then y'all could go from there if you want to kick her out or keep her there. But don't wait till after that to come back with that BS. It's just childish. It's giving childish. It's giving scared. It's giving needing attention. And this ain't the place. Because us over here at the Love and Marriage Huntsville audience, child, we don't care about all of that. But anyway, I got my little notes on my napkin. But anyway, she said don't make her, it don't change how she feels because it wasn't audible. Girl... They played the replay. Kimmy even said, yes, she did speak to you. However, your disposition and your energy was so off, like we could hardly talk to you. So I'm pretty sure if she did speak, which she did, you wouldn't hear it because you were just in your bag. You know what I mean? So she's in denial. That's not the way it was. I just didn't hear it, blah, 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 blah. Even Tisha jumps in and was just like, girl, actually, that's true. Like, us trying to have a conversation with you at that time was just like impossible. Impossible. Girl, we could not get in touch with you, girl. Like you was really like on your high horse. Well then Demi, that's the uninvited girl that Destiny came in with. And you know, we found out that she has a history or she knows Mel and Martell. So you know she over there being biased as hell. But she decides to jump in when nobody asked and was like, listen, I understand where she coming from because she feels like, you know, these girls were not invited to her event and then they walk into this event and then all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean? It's just a lot going on and she just shut down in a moment. Demi, shut your ass up. We didn't ask you, Demi, first of all, you're lucky you got a plate and a seat at the table. You lucky Stormy prepared enough to make sure you got a plate. Who asked you, Demi? Demi, if that's your name, I can't remember. I think that's your name. Who the hell asked you, Demi? Girl, bye. We didn't ask for your opinion. We didn't ask to hear what you got to say. You should be a fly on the wall because your ass wasn't invited. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting there saying, Stormy, don't cuss out. Because I know how Stormy is. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky Stormy ain't cuss your ass out until you get the hell up out of here. Because this ain't got nothing to do with you. Now, I know you was at the doggone thing. And I know Destiny your cousin. Let Destiny handle her own stuff. She don't need you to do a damn thing, okay? Shut your ass up, Demi. You barely got a plate. Shut it up. Anyway, so after Tisha called out her body language and Demi tried to help up for her because that's her cousin or whatever the case may be, Stormy was like, listen, do y'all think after this, having this conversation and understanding that, hey, she did speak, it was just a miscommunication, or do y'all think y'all are cool? So Mel was just like, why everybody got to be cool? And I'm with Mel. Listen, why we can't just be cordial, exist in a space together, and be fine? Why does everybody have to be cool? Everybody not going to be friends. And I hate when they be having these come to Jesuses to make these people be friends. These people don't want to be friends. Mel don't want to be friends with none of y'all. Stormy, she barely your friend, to be completely honest. Let Mel go off in the sunset by herself. And that's what she said. She was like, you know, she gonna tell us to Destiny later on. I want to be able to just enjoy being with me. Period. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody don't have to be damn friends. But anyway, Stormy gifts the girls some Canvas beauty products inside of a Canvas purse because she said it makes her happy. Well, Stormy, that don't make everybody happy. But at the end of the day, shout out to the what do you call it? Publicity and all of that, selling your product, putting your product out there on the thing. That's what you should do. I ain't mad at you. So she gives out the purses, and Mel happens to be walking out the same time Kimmy is walking out. So she asked Kimmy, she was like, hey, you know, me seeing you actually cry, that kind of touched me in a different way because I've never seen you that, you know, vulnerable. Is everything okay? Basically, Kimmy's whole thing is, listen, everything's okay. You know, I'm going through some things. I'm just not ready to share right now. When I am ready to share, I'll let you know. But I genuinely appreciate you asking more than you know. When people say things like that, they really do mean it. They really do. And I think that it was very thoughtful of Mel to pull Kimmy aside and be like, hey, how you really doing? You know? And Kimmy even gets in her doggone confessional and was like, I love Mel. You know, she's always been a genuine person. She's always been a good person. So I'm here for it. I'm just praying for Kimmy at this point. That's all you can do. And shout out to Mel, you know, for checking on her. And she said she'll let him know when she get ready. She just need all the answers before she go out blurping what's going on. So I understand that. Let's move on. Okay, so Marceau sets up a date night for him and Tisha. He just wants to be a better man. I don't know where the hell this is coming from. Maybe he noticed that the men's is looking at Tisha or whatever. But whatever the case may be, Marceau wants to be a better man. Shout out to the bro, I guess. I don't know. But he said he don't know where them kids at, but that ain't his department. You are so sexist. Oh, Marceau. He said that's Tisha's job. But anyway, he got his charcuterie board, some other stuff I can't pronounce, and some damn pickled watermelons with some black in the bottom, whatever they call it. Well, what the heck? Pickled watermelons? That's the most country shit I ever heard. Marceau, y'all got to stop now. But anyway, Tisha comes down. She's surprised. She was just like, oh my God, what prompted all of this? And Marceau was like, you know, babe, I just want to be a better man. The hell you done did? That's what I'd have been thinking, but I'd have sat down. But she likes to set up. He set it all up. He said he would have did it outside, but he ended up doing it inside because it was raining and it was hot outside. But the setup was cute, I ain't gonna lie. Well, she asked him, well, is this due to the couples retreat? Is this why you acting like, you know, all nice and doing nice things and whatnot? He was like, actually not really. The couples retreat, it was alright, but that ain't what the whole list about or whatever the case. So she was like, well, I thought it was good. We got to get to know Lou and Big Lou and Crazy Tiff, you know, and all of that. And Marceau jumps in and said, you know, to be completely honest, since we on the subject, I don't really care for Dr. Francis. He biased toward men, and basically he feels like all masculinity is toxic. And to be completely honest, he was harder on Lou than anybody. Nobody had the answers. If Lou said something, he was hammering in on him. I'm not really feeling Dr. Francis. So she goes, well, that's not true, because he went in on Tiff too. Well, Marceau disagrees. Marceau feels like Dr. Francis is extremely biased. They sit on a high horse of perfection, and they give therapy from that perspective, and that ain't really what he on. I don't think that, well, I don't know. I wasn't there physically, so maybe he does have a bias. I don't know. But I think on the flip side, he calls out men on that bullshit, on that toxic masculinity that some of y'all do display, Marceau. He calls you out on it, and you don't like that. Because, see, you a Southern man. Y'all ain't used to people calling y'all out on the bullshit. You get it? But, and then it's coming from another man too. Oh yeah, that, you don't like that. You don't like it, but it don't matter. The man said what he said, but Marceau said he ain't trying to do all that. Well, Tisha likes the doggone therapy. So Tisha's whole thing is, well, okay, that's fine. We don't have to get Dr. Francis. Who would you like to get in place of Dr. Francis? Marceau thinks he don't know, but he tells Tisha this is her job. Again, them roles, but if they like it, I love it, child. But he said as long as it's a person that's not biased, a person that's not going to sit up there and be like coming from a place of high horse and I'm just looking down on you. He wants somebody that's going to have experiences, both good and bad, and are going to be able to teach from those experiences. Basically, he wants somebody that's like, down to earth and not going to be biased. Meaning somebody that's not going to call him on his shit, if you ask me. So she's going to go ahead and look for that because she said anything to get Marceau in therapy. He's still considering, child. Well, she brings up the fact that they want to have a period party. I think this is the best idea. Listen, I grew up, I had my period. My mom ain't sit down and talk to me about it. And most of y'all mamas didn't either. Some of y'all did, but most of y'all mamas didn't talk to y'all about it either. So stop the cap. Anyway, I think having a period party and having this company come in and explain to the girls everything, what's going to happen, how to use your products, the very good questions that most young girls have is going to be answered at that party. I think that's dope. Marceau's cringing because his daughters are growing up, and like she said, one of them is 10, and the age of cycling, not in the bike, but that age range is between 10 to 14. So she want to get our girls prepared. I love it. I'm here for it. I think that's super dope, and they need to have that everywhere where girls can actually get to know what's going on with their bodies, why this is happening. I actually had to talk to my daughter about it, and I had a one-on-one. I sat down, I drew pictures, I did the whole nine. I came from the scientific perspective. I did all that. I wanted to cover every box with my daughter because it wasn't covered with me. I had to learn it through sex ed in high school. Well, no, it was middle school. I'm sorry. But I don't think they do that anymore. Not really sure, but I love this idea. This is super dope. She's going to have this period party. Now, Marceau goes, well, so, okay, am I invited? Or the dad's there? Or are they coming? And she was just like, nope, it's women only. But then she thought about it. She was like, to be honest, dad should be there because you have daughters. Martell got 3 daughters. Hell, Destiny daddy used to go have to buy her pass because she was raised by her daddy. So men should be in on it. I agree because even if you are married, because, Marceau hangs on the fact that I'm married, I ain't going to have to do this, that, and the third. You may be in a situation where you need to act right now, right? If Tisha ain't there, I mean, you know what I mean? That's just how I think, but that's me. But Marceau said, child, look, I ain't got time to be dealing with that. Look, if me and you get divorced or something happen to you, I'm going to be married in the next couple of weeks. Just so he can have the man roles and the woman roles. Marceau is so... You making my neck hurt, Marceau. Anyway, she was like, that's fine, because if something happened to you, I'm going to be living my best life off that good insurance, as you should. Come on now, Tisha, and let them know you ain't going to be no damn fool widow. Girl, please. Child, I'll be hopping on something in about 48 hours. Okay, girl. Let's get into it, girl. Let's move on. All right, so we back, and Kimmy and Maurice are on the way to get her biopsy. She's going to get a biopsy on both lumps, the one she found in her breast and in her lymph node. I believe that's how you say it, but the one kind of like under your arm. And she's nervous, as she should be. I think all of us would be. Like, I would be, my mind already runs a million miles an hour. I think I would lose my mind. But she's nervous. Maurice is being inquisitive, asking, hey, okay, so how does it work? And, is it invasive? Like, how deep is it? And she explains that she's nervous and, it's more or less because of the not knowing. She don't know what's happening. She don't know what is. She don't know what's going on. And it's torturous. I completely sympathize with her with that. And I can only imagine the torture. I went through it with my best friend of not knowing. Thank God her biopsy, the first one came back, yes, it was. And then the second one came back, no, it ain't. So thank God for that. But I couldn't imagine. And you know what's so crazy about this cancer? it's affecting black women at a higher rate than anything right now. My conspiracy theory minded brain tells me that that's not a coincidence, and I'm not going to get into that. But I hate to see us young black women. My best friend ain't but 39. Young black women. I hate that. But let's move on. She says she likes the way the process has been going. She's impressed with how swiftly everything's been going. She done had 3 nurses call her. She said, if you X out the weekend, they basically been on the road for like 72 hours, and she about to go in and get her biopsy. But she's impressed with that. Maurice basically asked, could he go in? And she said she'll ask, but he said he's upset that he missed the last one. But Kimmy is an independent person, both spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. Everything is just, she want to figure it out on her own before you come around and have something. You know what I mean? I understand it to an extent. But basically she said, if I take you or if I take my mother and all these other people, it's going to be a sad thing. And I don't want that. I just went in the last one like it was an annual mammogram, and that was just that. Speaking of annual mammograms, ladies, get annual mammograms. I know at one point before it was just like, oh, you only need it every couple of years or whatever it was. Get your annual mammogram, please. Anyway, so yeah, she just didn't want to make it a big production. But either way, she says that she's positive it'll work out one way or the other. I love Maurice's answer when he was like, it's going to work out one way. I love the positivity coming from both of them. I love it. I love it. I love it. But this is the part I wanted to ask y'all about. And I know I'm going to get flack from people, but I've always been wondering this since I was a little girl. So she make a comment and says, Jesus takes care of her specifically. And then she said, everything happens for a reason. We may not know why things are happening, but everything happens for a reason. I'm all here for it. But then she goes on to say, not that she even went on to say anything. I guess I question, and I know some, homegrown Southern Baptists and all these real heavy Christians is going to feel a way about this question. But I question if, in fact, Jesus takes care of, let's say, Kimmy in this incident. If he takes care of her, why would he allow her to get cancer? Not trying to go deep into it, but I just always wondered about the concept that religion has taught us, that God takes care of his people, but then allows things like that to happen to test us. I asked myself, and I asked my boyfriend, I said, would you test your son the way God tests his people? And he's like, well, what do you mean? Well, let's say we were the equivalent of God to our children. Would any of you out there, and correct me if I'm wrong or stop me when I start lying, but I don't believe that any of us would test our children that way. Not because we don't want them to be great or be the best. It's more or less because we love our children. And if I tested my child in the way that we are being tested, quote unquote, you know what I mean, by God, it would only make sense that my child wonder why or question my love for her. I'm not saying I'm questioning God's love by no means, but I'm just trying to make heads or tails of this thing. I love how positive Kimmy is, and Maurice. They even pray before they get out there and get into the doggone biopsy. But that was just something that I wanted to ponder on. That's it. Let's move on. All right, so Destiny is over there doing a photo shoot for her single or whatever the song is. Top 10 on 10. I don't know. Just go stream it, I guess. She's over there doing a photo shoot, and Mel walks in. Mel said, oh, I like the yellow. She said, oh, do I look like Big Bird? Yes, Destiny, you're looking like Sesame Street. Tell me how to get there. Say what I said. I didn't like it. If I was your friend, I would have told you to get that chick. You actually look more like Big Bird than Big Bird. Sorry, didn't like it. And, all them feathers, girl. Oh, Lord. I ain't like it. But, Mel was like, nah, it's cool. I did my little yellow. Mel, your yellow wasn't her yellow. I'm sorry. 2 different yellows. See what I said? I didn't like it, Destiny. You should have picked another color if you was going to get all the feathers and the BS going on. Girl, looks just tacky. Anyway, so they sit down and have a conversation. And Destiny thanks her for coming through. And you know, good Mel in her fashion goes, yeah, you reached out. I say, Mel, no, she be shady as hell. Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you. But Mel lets us know that she reached out. So she came by to see what the hell was going on. So Destiny basically wants to make amends with Mel. But Mel ain't trying to really hear all that, to be completely honest. Mel is on her high, I'm trying to get out of here. Hey, how you doing? I ain't trying to be no friends type of stuff. And we gonna get there. So Mel brings up the fact that she did she made a video. Now, this is why I got to call you to the red carpet, Mel. Mel made a video of her dancing in the car to the top 10 song. They did the flashback. It was cute or whatever the case. But that was months before the Madani incident. However, Mel says that the reason she never posted it is because what happened at the Madani incident. Mel, I got to call you down here to the red carpet. That don't make no sense. Why would you record the video before y'all had an issue and hold on to it? Maybe I would have rather her say I forgot, but I didn't think about it until after we got into it. But you gonna hold on to the video and then be like, yeah, I was gonna post it, but then when you said I ain't speak to you at Madani and all that happened, I just was just like, I ain't gonna post it. That don't make sense, Mel. And I'm calling the cap. I'm sorry, I'm calling the cap. Cappity cap. I don't believe it. It don't make sense, Mel. You recorded the video for whatever reason. You never posted it. Who cares? Ain't my business. All I'm saying is don't package it as if the Madani incident had everything to do with why you didn't post it. Because that's cap. Anyway, so Destiny asked her, okay, that's fine. Well, what did you think when I didn't speak to you, or when you spoke to me and I didn't speak back? Mel's whole thing was, well, I thought you just didn't want to be bothered. And because you didn't want to be bothered, I was just like, cool, I ain't gonna bother her. That sounds like me. I'm giving that type of energy. But anyway, she said that's how I felt. Well, Destiny, she's trying to get her play wife back. I don't know. She's trying to get her friendship back. But Destiny basically said she needs to give what she's expecting. So basically she was like, listen, when you have your things and your product launches and all that stuff, we all show up, we all support, we all do this, and this. I feel like you should give me what you're expecting people to give you in those incidents. Mel feels like that's cap. She ain't trying to do all that. Mel was like, I just want to make peace with what happened last year. Period. Destiny was like, well, how do you make peace after what happened last year? They not argue, but they kind of go back and forth because Destiny's whole thing was, listen, I texted you. I didn't even know we had an issue. I'm texting you, hitting you up like, girl, what's going on? We got an issue. What's happening? And you never responded. And Mel was like a deer caught in headlights, because with Mel on one end, you saying she could have hit you up, which I agree with wholeheartedly. But if she did hit you up and you never responded, how then was she supposed to know everything was cool or there was an issue? Make it make sense, Mel. Make it make sense, because it don't. I'm sorry, it don't. But anyway, so Mel's whole thing was, listen, girl, that wasn't the case. Destiny goes on to say, well, it was the case because I literally got a text from this lady saying, I don't want to move forward in business with you because you have something deeper than you know, some issues or whatever going on with Mel. You need to figure that part out before we can move forward. I believe that. Do I believe Mel told the lady not to work with her? Probably not. I don't know. Probably did. I don't really care. But I do believe that it affected her business to that extent. And when she reached out to you, Mel, I don't think it was right that you didn't respond, but then had her or wanted her to assume what was going on. That's not right. I'm sorry. But Destiny feels like she had to find out from other people that it was an issue. And she don't really appreciate that. But she wants to move forward. This is Mel here. She said she want to move forward and she want to be in a place where she could see you in the streets and speak and say, hey, girl, and keep it moving. But that's all she's trying to do. But see, Destiny wants more and more. Destiny wants more because like Destiny said, child, we got divorced together. Well, technically you didn't, Destiny, because you didn't tell a girl you was even going through a divorce, remember? Remember, she was hot about that because she felt like, girl, I wanted to be there for you as a friend. I was siding with Mel on that. Y'all didn't go through a divorce together. Mel went through one by herself. Although you were going through one, y'all didn't do it together. That's all I'm trying to say. Girl, please. Don't try to trauma bond over we had divorces together and all of that. And, you know, and you don't miss our friendship. Girl, they did the flashback and it was cute and all. But Mel came back and was like, I mean, I miss some things about the friendship. I don't miss some things about you. Oh, she asked, you don't love me, you know, because we bonded. Girl, the girl don't want to be your friend no more. Move on, Destiny. Move on. Why do y'all need friends? You know, maybe because I'm a person, I don't have to look for friends. People just want to be my friend. Maybe I don't understand. I ain't never had to look for a friend a day in my life. I swear to God, I could go right now and sit at a restaurant and sit at the bar and make a new friend. And I don't mean friend in the real sense of the word, but people they gravitate toward me. Maybe I had that type of personality, you know, which I feel like I do. But, Destiny, that girl don't want to be your friend no more. Stop going around looking for friends. That's your problem. Be your own friend. Be your own friend. And the friend's gonna come to you. You get it? Let's move on. Okay, so we back and we at the period party, and the period party has the girls all in pajamas. It's super, super cute. I love the fact that Tisha had the OBGYN there, the lady who has an organization, and she said she does this annually for all the girls. And then there's a lady there to talk about nutrition. We have to understand how much food plays a part in our lives, in our health, in all of that stuff. And we're going to get to that a little bit. But I think it's super dope that she had those three people there, because you have someone who can speak to you on a medical level of what's going on with your body, what's happening, why it's happening. You have someone who can speak with you on the diet and how it affects the process and all of that. And then they even have the two little girls who are there to talk to the girls. I think she said they're like twins. They're 14. And basically, they have a nonprofit organization called Period Poverty, because there's sometimes a lot of girls don't have products. I know when I was in school, I know there was this one girl, I used to have to steal like extra pads to bring to this girl all the time because her mama literally just didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get into detail, but I think that is super, super dope that those young girls thought of that nonprofit. And that's something that is very much needed. As it pertains to Tisha, she says that she's happy that she had the young girls, that because now these girls can be comfortable, you know what I mean, in speaking about what they need to speak about. And basically, it makes them more apt to want to participate because they're looking at girls that look just like them, if it makes sense. So they do this thing where they want to write down on a piece of paper any questions you may have anonymously, and then they're going to answer those questions because they don't want anybody to feel on the spot but get the information they need. Well, as this is happening, Maurice walks in. And I'm just sitting there going like, Maurice, what the hell are you doing here? Tisha even says to herself, she said she wanted to invite them in, but she wanted the girls to be comfortable to ask the questions and feel comfortable to express themselves without being embarrassed by men or boys being there. So I totally understood it. So she made it all girls. Fine. So Maurice pulls Tisha out of the doggone thing, and Kimmy is outside. And she's like, what you doing here? Y'all look nice. He look like he going to the beach in Miami. You look like you kind of chilly, you know, chillaxing or whatever. What's going on? And Kimmy tells her, I had some errands to run, but we really came to tell you that we got some bad news. So she tell her that she found the lumps in her breast and she went to have a biopsy. Now, Tisha is visibly like shaking. She's just like, oh my God. She hugs her. She starts crying. Because we all know that that's not good news, even finding the lumps. You know what I mean? So now Kimmy goes on to tell her, you know, that they had the biopsy and they came back positive for cancer. So she definitely has cancer. She tells her it was 2 lumps and they both are positive, and it is triple negative breast cancer that she's diagnosed with. What do I know about triple negative breast cancer? I just educated myself on that. This is the most aggressive form of breast cancer you can get. Just a little personal. So I have a cousin, young girl, found out she's pregnant. And then shortly after, maybe like a couple weeks later, find out she has cancer, breast cancer. triple negative breast cancer. The mortality rate for women giving birth with triple negative breast cancer, which by the way affects black women more than any other demographic of women on the face of this earth. Do your research. But the probability of her even living to give birth is low, very low actually. I don't want to quote the numbers because I don't remember them off the top, but it is very, very low. So boom, she's like, well, okay, it's early on in the pregnancy. Let me just go ahead and get an abortion because I have 4 other kids to live for. I don't want to risk losing my life. You know what I mean? It's a sticky situation, but I back her 100%. Well, the new abortion law says you're not within this 6-week period. So no, you have to go through it and give birth to this child. Now, my cousin has to live with the fact that, and she's coping with it. She's good with it. She's prayed up. She said, at the end of the day, it is what it is. She's going to be there for her kids. She's going to be there for this baby. She's going to make it through. I speak positivity in her all the time. I text her all the time to talk to her, to check on her, because I could not imagine feeling like I'm on a ticking time clock because I don't know what's going to happen here. You know what I mean? Given the surviving rates and all of that. So I totally empathize with my cousin. Well, I can't empathize because I've never had that situation, but I sympathize with my cousin because I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know. But nevertheless, that's what Kimmy is diagnosed with, triple negative breast cancer. Now, the good thing is, they caught it in a second stage, which is an early stage. So the prognosis is really good. So the journey is beginning and we are going to be along for what part of it she decides to share with us. Tisha is like crying because she hates that Kimmy has to even go through this. And I completely understand because that's how I felt when I found out about my best friend and my cousin. These are young women. It's not that I'm saying that it's okay if you older and get it, but I'm just saying these are young women. And I couldn't, oh my God. It's just bad. It's really bad. That's why it's very important to watch, like the lady was telling with the girls at the period party, what you eat, what you ingest. All them, listen, this is just my opinion. All them little, hey, come let your daughter get this. It's going to prevent that. Oh, hey, we got this new thing. Let her get this so it's going to prevent that. My suggestion would be, don't do it. Do what you want, but that's my suggestion. When they would call me, oh, we found this, and this is going to help prevent the cancer down the road, or this kind of that down the road. No, sir. No. That's just me. I'm not saying that that's what it's all about, but we got to be cognizant of what's going on around us. Because there's a reason why cancer is affecting black women at the rate it is, higher than any other race of women. Remember, we are the mothers of this earth. Put the 2 and 2 together. But anyway, with all of that going on, I thought it was super admirable for Kimmy to bring the little concealed pouch for, I think her daughter name is Madison, for Tisha's daughter. It's for her to kind of, put her little things in, her little soaps, her little, toiletries and all that stuff. So she can be discreet. In the moment of finding out all of this, she could have went home and whimpered away and crawled in a little corner and cried, but she thought about that little girl. And I get it, it's her niece, but that's admirable to me. And that tells me everything I need to know about Kimmy's character. Kimmy, you're gonna beat it. You're going to beat it. I'm glad they caught it when they did. I would, again, tell everybody, please get your mammograms annually. Don't let your doctor tell you don't need them annually. And at this rate, I don't know one doctor that will tell you don't need them annually. Get your doggone mammograms annually. Tisha's, she feels some way. She don't want Kimmy to have to go through this. She said she lost an aunt to that. So, but she's going to be there for the whole way of the journey. They're going to fight it together like I had planned to do with my best friend, like I'm doing with my cousin. We're going to fight it together. And ladies, we got to fight it together because we need each other. That's just what it is. Shout out to Kimmy. She said she got diagnosed in June of 2022. I don't know if I follow her on social media, but I'm going to check and see how she's doing in the progress, if she's in fact posting any of this. But my heart goes out to you, Kimmy. I pray that you beat this and we can move on. Like Tisha said, girl, you was in the prime of your life. You got too much more to do. This ain't your time. And I truly, truly believe that in my heart of hearts. That was the episode, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was a very powerful educational episode. It shined a light on a lot that women go through, and that we need to be cognizant of as women, from the period party all the way up to the breast cancer. Y'all, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok. Y'all know the vibes. Stop acting crazy. And I will see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo dog time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.